Alright, so we're back with another decode. This is going to be on the infamous number 666, the gods of this world, how they are evil, seem to be evil. And we're going to connect this to the Papal Bloodlines, the Vatican, the Catholic Church, the Jesuits, etc. We know how they rule, we know how they are the ones at the top of the pyramid, at least as far as humans go, if that makes sense, because we're going to get into how they tie in also to this alien human hybrid species, and the Anunnaki, commonly known as, commonly goes by that name. But yeah, we're going to get into how all that ties in, and I would just go ahead and say I don't believe all this that I put down. A lot of this stuff I put down is really just theories that are out there, but there's connections between all this stuff, and I think there's bits and pieces that are true with some things, like more than others, but I don't. I'm not big into the whole, uh, Anunnaki thing. Like I'm familiar with it more than probably most people, but even in the truth community and whatnot. But still, I don't have the greatest understanding, so that's why I'm just kind of giving a disclaimer that a lot of this is just theories that I'm making connections to, and that I don't fully understand. But the fact that there are connections between all these things does show that there is some degree to, some more than others, depending on what you're talking about, but there is a connection between all these things. So, let's just begin. And also, this is part one. I'll probably have to make, I could keep going. I could probably make 3 more parts on this, but we'll just see. I'll definitely make a part 2, but we'll see after that. Anyways, let's just get into it. So, this number, 666, the infamous Mark of the Beast, of course, and Mark of Beast equals 666. And I'm not going to repeat myself throughout this video and say 666 in English Sumerian and reverse English Sumerian. I'll specify when I feel like I need to. But just know when I say that it's either in English Sumerian or reverse English Sumerian gematria. So, Mark of Beast 666, and a name relating to Pope is Pontiff. Pontiffs with an S equals 666. Vatican Hill equals 666. And it's been said that the Vatican stores alien bones, which leads me, like I was saying, to these other connections. These alien overlords, many say that there are beings that rule over us that are half human, half non-humans, and there's more species too we could get into that are more non-human and stuff like that, but just to keep it, I guess, general, that's what I put in this decode. So, but an example of these half human, half non-humans are the reptilian humanoid species. And, like I said, some of these things could be psyops to a degree. Some of these things could have truth. You have to make your own judgment on these things. So that was my whole point of the disclaimer at the beginning of the video. But reptilian humanoid does equal 666 in Jewish gematria. And these beings have been said to be the gods of our planet. The gods is a phrase equating to 666. And these reptilians have the ability to shapeshift, or at least said to. Shapeshift equals 666. these beings are also referred to as the archons, or just archons, and both phrases, or the phrase "the archons" equals 666, and just archons alone equals 666. And see how the Papal Audience Hall looks just like a serpent, and it's been dubbed. It's not formally called this, but it's been dubbed, this name by others, researchers and such. The Pope's Reptilian Audience Hall. So this is the connection between the Anunnaki, the reptilians, and we'll get more descriptive here in a minute, but like with, they're called winged serpents and dragons, and wings are a common theme connecting to the gods, quote unquote, of this world. May or may not be. But there is, like I've been saying, definitely a numerical connection here. That's why I'm making this. And these beings that created us, the Anunnaki, are said to have created us by mixing different genetic codes from different species to purposefully corrupt our DNA. And when you hear codes, you probably think about a computer, right? Well, computer and internet both equate to 666. And this plays in the simulation theory, which suggests we're on a fixed timeline, right? The phrase fixed timeline is a phrase equating to 216, which is the product of 6 times 6 times 6. And calculation equals 666. Think about, what I just said, computer, codes, all that, ones and zeros. And simulation theory suggests everything in the physical world is an illusion. Illusion equals 666. And, the physical world is actually represented by the number 6. And 6 repeats in 666. And to go back to these beings that I said rule over us, the Anunnaki, they purposefully have corrupted our DNA to make us inferior to them. To have a slave race. You've probably heard this. Basically just, farm us, grow us up, shear our fleece, and just profit off of us. So they had to corrupt our DNA, like I said, to do this, because we were above. Some say that we were smarter than them, but they had to corrupt our DNA to make us dumb down to serve them, right? And the phrase corruption of DNA equals 216, which is again the product of 6 times 6 times 6. The Anunnaki are said to be the fallen angels. Wings, like angel wings and wings on these creatures, or it's just a big theme here, which I'll elaborate, talk about more. But fallen angels is a phrase equating to 216. Again, the product of 6 times 6 times 6. And the Anunnaki have been described as dragons who have wings, right? Dragons equals 666. The fallen angels, the Anunnaki, been described as winged serpents, like a dragon. And think about angels, like I just said, wings are just the common denominator here. Angel wings is a phrase equating to 666. The angelic race equals 666. Anunnaki, said to be the watchers of mankind. The phrase the watcher equals 666, along with just watcher alone. And Anunnaki God equals 666. So like maybe Inky or Enlil you could bring up. And think about it. Just a side note, Enlil has been said to be another name for the devil or Satan. And Enlil, and we know the devil is the god of this world, right? And if you take devil and earth and Enlil, they are, and you type it into the gematria calculator with the 4 default ciphers, they're all a match. And how I was talking about the angelic race equating to 666. Well, certain celebrities, royalty, and members of secret societies like the 13th family of the Illuminati, the Merovingians, are said to be descendants of Jesus. And they have been said to be of, divine blood, obviously. And divine blood and the gods, the phrase the divine blood and the gods both equal 666. And think about the black nobility families who are of papal bloodlines. Black nobility equals 666 in Jewish gematria. Secrecy, we're talking about secret societies here. Secret factions, stuff like that. Secrecy 666. And black nobility also equals 216, which again is the product of 6 times 6 times 6. Some have even claimed that Jesus was an alien, half man, half alien, because he's half God, half man. And people have basically said that the gods we talk about are really alien DNA, are aliens or half aliens. So this connects to Jesus, and a word meaning Messiah or the Christ is Christos. Christos equals 666. There are some that believe that Jesus during his lost years, the lost years according to the Bible, Jesus from age 12 to 29 or 30, these years, some believe he was traveling in / living in India and Tibet, and I think other places, but he was doing that to get educated in those areas from the people in those areas and such. And he later became a saint named Saint Isa. And Saint Isa equals 666. And the phrase God of Israel equals 666. The all-seeing eye, who is Lucifer, symbolizes Lucifer, is the eye of God. From a religious perspective, God resides in heaven, man in the sky and all that crap. And the phrase eye of heaven equals 666. Humans are carbon-based life forms. Carbon is made up of 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons. And the phrase carbonate life equals 666. Just like humanity does in English Sumerian gematria. No coincidence. In addition, carbon is the 6th element. Remember what I said, with 6 being the number representing the physical world. And carbon, the 6th element on the periodic table. And according to the Bible, mankind was created on what? The 6th day of creation. And the phrase 6th day of creation is a phrase equating to 216, which again is the product of 6 times 6 times 6. In the Bible, the story of man being created is in Genesis. Genesis equals 666 in reverse English Sumerian. All this is synced up. Of course, the Bible we know today comes from the Vatican, and people talk about how it's prophetic and when it's really not. It's just the same people that wrote the scripture, right? That's why I bolded that. Script, following a script, scripture. Same ones that wrote it are the ones fulfilling it. And prophecy equals 666 in Jewish gematria. So you see how that kind of proves it, right? Like it's how that was engineered to, that word prophecy engineered to equate to that, to the infamous number, like you just see it's all a script. Finally, as I've decoded this all with gematria, the name for Greek gematria is isopsephy. Isopsephy also equals 666. That is all I had to say, so thank you guys for watching, and I'm out. Peace.